Shit work.
Ah, lovely. Welcome to Hat Chat, Self-Isolation Edition with your hosts, Chris Trott, that's me.
Ross Hornby, that's me.
I'm Alex Smith, and I'm coming to you live from Puke Point HQ.
Where?
Puke Point.
HQ.
Wow, have you been vomiting?
No, I just feel like it's something. I don't know. Don't question it. Just move on.
Okay.
If I need
No,
to
I'm not
puke,
sick.
I'm going to your house. Is that what this is?
I'm not. Yeah, well, you can try and get in. I was actually thinking about how to barricade my house the other day, like what that would involve and whether it was even feasible. I have two. So I live on a single flat in an apartment, and there are two just windows like that open up into the walkway on the inside, and it's just like.
Oh, on the
Somebody
inside,
wanted to get into my house. They'd just bust those windows. So I was like, how can I barricade those windows? Anyway, welcome to Hat Chat.
For fuck's sake.
It's a
We're
great
going
day.
stir crazy because we're self-isolating. And it's probably what most podcasts of this week are going to be sounding like because we're all separate. And we're going to be having slight delays in internet. So apologies for the awkward delays in our responses to each other. But it's the way this goes. But yeah, what have we got to talk about today, Ross?
Barricading our houses in and the best ways to do it. Now, I'd never thought about it before, but now I feel like maybe I should be thinking about how to barricade myself in and protect myself against the craziness that's about to happen. There is no specific theme. I guess it's the fact that we're self-isolated and it's kind of like a new experience for everyone. It's very weird.
So how are you dealing?
Yeah.
Like, what's your daily routine right now? Have you made a routine, or are you just kind of going with the flow?
Terrible.
Flow.
My routine is terrible. I've gone from waking up nice and early at like when I got back from Africa, waking up at like 8 a.m. and having like a couple of hours in the morning before we even start work to like have a nice
Sorry, did you go to
breakfast and
Kenya?
stuff. I went to
Wait.
Kenya.
He did go to Kenya. Fucking hell.
I went to Kenya. But like now that we're working from home and shit, like, oh God, like last night I was trying to get to sleep and it's just like, it's hard. It's really, really hard. Like, I think I need to start working out at home to like tire myself out
Probably.
or whatever. Because like, I feel like I'm going to bed later and later and later and getting up later and later and later. And it's becoming just like when we used to work from home, all three of us.
Yeah.
Like, where it just like shifted.
You
So
got
that
your
kinda
Switch
sucks.
still, yeah? Nintendo Switch?
Who, me?
Yeah. You still got it?
No. I got rid of my Switch a long time ago.
Whoa. Well, you could have got Ring Fit Adventure, and that would have solved your workout problems.
He's got his own
really?
Ring Fit adventure. Doesn't need a game.
I do. What can I fit in my ring is what I call it. Adventure.
Yeah.
The cardio.
I can't see any
calories
geckos, so where are they?
Yeah, they're all up there. I need to protect you inside me.
Yeah, I've heard Ring Fit Adventure is a real good workout. You get like a little steel ring, which you put your your Switch controllers on, and they have the gyros on, and you can
Still using
squeeze them
Wii.
like a resistance band. You squat with it.
Yeah.
You put a little strap on your leg so it knows when you're squatting or when you're jogging and stuff.
I do exactly the same thing with my balls.
Right.
Just
well,
stretch them around.
you don't need to spend that
Squeeze
40
Stretch
pounds.
them around, squeeze them out.
Well, I heard it's a good way to gamify working out, so I can't wait for mine to arrive. I bought one.
Right, okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
Well, good, fine, yeah.
Well,
And
make a video
you're in the
out of it.
luxurious,
I want to.
yeah.
Film it, please.
You're in the luxurious position of having an actual garden space to do more things in, which is pretty
Yeah.
good.
Well,
We are
I'm
in
very, very
flats.
thankful for that. That's one of the benefits of moving house just before a pandemic gave
Yeah.
to me. I'm kind of in a bit of a DIY state right now where a lot of the walls aren't painted and I've got a load of boxes everywhere. But compared to being in a flat, I'd rather take being in a house right now for being in self-isolation. I feel like it's not that restrictive at all for me. I can be outside, running around with my little fluff dog and, yeah, enjoying the sunshine and shit without being, COVIDiated or called out by the public. It's like, I see you outside, get back in. Ugh. called out.
Yeah, there was some drone footage of people just walking in the hills, and they were just like, "Stay inside! You just must stay inside." It's a very nanny state. It was very bizarre. I don't know why they were so like hard on it.
Footage.
It was on the Guardian website, and it was literally just like, and there weren't crowds of people. There was like one or two dog walkers, right? And they were just like, "You're out and about. That's not necessary." And it's like, well, like, at least they're not in a crowd. Like, they could probably live with each other.
Isn't it like
It's
that's
legal.
probably their one exercise a day, right?
Yeah.
But now they're cracking down on
fine.
people driving around.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless you're driving to a necessary place. But you could just say, "Fuck it, I'm going to go to Tesco's in the middle of the Brecon Beacons."
Isn't it better if you're in a vehicle where you can't spread the virus anyway?
Yeah, I think they're just trying to just crack down on any movement, really,
Unnecessary
which makes sense
movement.
because it's about to fucking go crazy.
But what if your one day exercise is to go to a park which you can't walk to, and to take your car there?
That's true. Well, yeah, you can't do that either. I've been told, because my mum normally drives up to this massive field, and they weren't allowed to access that with the dog.
Shit.
So
It's closed off.
just
So I
local
went for
areas now.
I had to drive to get something earlier. Like, first time I've been outside in since yesterday.
COVID
went to the
you idiot! Get back in.
Since yesterday, you spreader, ultimate spreader,
So-
right there.
I've been inside my flat for like a week and a half, didn't go outside. And then yesterday I had to go to the supermarket. So I went to the supermarket. Today I had to go and pick up something. Didn't expose myself to the public at all. I drove there and I drove back. And it was pretty weird doing it today. Like today is noticeably quieter than even yesterday, which was pretty quiet. Yeah, there's quite a few police around. But like nobody stopped me. Nobody asked me where I was driving to.
I think
but I don't think I'll go back out again.
It's rife.
I've got enough food in the house now to stay inside for, I don't know, probably like a month. Which is quite possible.
And after that month ends, start eating lizard eggs.
Well, only one of my lizards is female, but she may well lay eggs. I don't think there's any real nutritional value though.
No.
And also, I have a load of Huel. So Huel, you know what that is? It's like a meal replacement powder. It's a bit like Soylent, if you've ever heard of that. And I've got 2 bags of that, and I've been having it as my morning/lunchtime meal for the last sort of week and a half, and it's super fucking useful. So thankfully, old Craigle, our editor and producer, who normally would be controlling this hat chat, he gave me a whole bag before he left. He'd accidentally subscribed for too long, and he had like 4 or 5 bags of it. And he's like, "You can just have one if you want." And I was like, "Oh, thanks, mate." So I took it home with me, and I got 2 full bags of that. And that shit lasts I think it's like a month. Like if you only ate it, and it's a fully meal complete. So I'm pretty comfortable. I don't want to eat that all the time. I've got lots of stuff in the freezer and the fridge and stuff. Obviously,
but if you have to ration,
ultimately,
you can.
Yeah, which is pretty sweet. The only thing I really worry about is if our internet goes off. I think that would suck quite a lot.
Well, that would be a big cut-off for many reasons. That would be shit. I mean, obviously, some people are out of work now. It's even worse in America. They reported that 3.3 million job losses.
Wow.
On Thursday, which is just shocking. I mean, I'm quite amazed our government's doing what they are doing to help the people who are out of work. I mean, obviously, there's a delay on it, which isn't great.
Where did that budget come from?
I'm surprised. Obviously, well, yeah. Exactly, but
story for another day. But I'm just thankful it's there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe it should have been there.
Guess we'll find out.
For pandemic prevention in the first place. But it's all right to play catch up. That's fine. Let's be reactive instead of
now.
proactive.
Boris has got it now, don't you?
Yeah.
Boris has got it.
Boris and the health secretary as well.
Oh, she had it, and she's recovered from it, hasn't she?
No, the other dude, Matt something, came up.
Oh, Matt Hancock.
Yes, Matt Hancock.
The medical chief.
He's also got it now. But obviously, it affects people in different ways, and it's like
it makes me horny.
It'll be bad or
when I got it.
Horrible.
I think I got it. I don't know.
Anyway, back to barricading.
Well, this is the thing. No one knows.
Flat.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, how would I do it? what have I got in my
Okay.
house? So I've got like an IKEA dining table. Again, I wouldn't trust the structural integrity of that wood, but
yeah, wood, yeah.
that's one thing that would go up against one of the windows. The windows are about, I'd say, 5 feet tall by about 2.5 feet wide, so they're like slits in, and I would put a table up against that, I think. But then what would I put up against the second one? I think that's the real question. I've got a
interest.
desk here. Yeah.
Just a quickie. Why would anyone be breaking into your? What's the aim?
They've heard
They
that
have
I've
to
got
get in there
these
in the
sweet
first place.
tasting lizard eggs. Like they got these. They've
Right,
heard that
okay.
I've got the only
The lizard
source
eggs.
of good sweet tasting lizard eggs, and they want my eggs. And I'm like, no, they're my eggs. Quick,
They're
Dorito,
Moorish.
climb into my ass for safety. Is what I
desperation.
say.
Right.
Yeah,
Well, someone's
and then I run
gleaned
away
the-
like a mother kangaroo. Like a kangaroo, I bounce away, and her head's just sticking out of
Right.
my asshole. Like, where are we going, father? And I'm like,
Oh, okay. So she's
yeah.
not the other way. At least that's good. Well, that sounds
no.
like that sounds horrible.
Then I would have a
but
tail.
then
That'd be
they-
quite funny. I'd have a lizard tail, wouldn't I, if she was the other way in? Just a tail.
But doesn't your building have like a concierge? So you have more security than most people, I think, in terms of like barriers
Yeah.
to entry.
Yeah,
You're
so
basically worried
he's
about the
down
people
there,
you're living
Manny.
near.
No, not really. I mean, like, I get a little bit paranoid now and then. My mind starts to wander. I know it's not a real consideration, but I was like, if I had to do it, how would I do it? Just more of a thought exercise than anything.
Yeah,
And
also the
Yeah.
age old, do you strip down your duvets and make a nice like rope to climb down, maybe out from a balcony? Is that a good method?
maybe.
I've thought about that. I'm
Maybe.
not too high up, so I mean, I could probably jump, to be honest, if I needed to.
I'm like,
And I do have a decorative samurai sword, which could threaten some people. I wouldn't probably use it, of course, but it's certainly holy shit, that guy's got a fucking sword.
yeah.
Am I breaking up? Am I? Oh,
Yeah, pretty nasty.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ross, your audio's gone super crackly.
breaking up for me.
But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Your decorative samurai sword would be an excellent way to defend yourself.
Indeed. Well, while Ross fixes his audio, this is going to happen in this hat chat. That's just the way it goes. Restart your voicemail
Can we
audio
cancel the call?
engine, please. Thank you. Don't do that.
I'm about
Just-
to.
Thank you. I don't fully understand the premise of protecting your home
Is that
because I
better?
feel like everyone's just going to be at home
Yeah.
anyway. That is better. Thank you. That's usually the first port of call to restart that audio engine. But I'd probably get all my furniture, which I haven't bought yet, so all the stuff that I've currently got, break it down into splintered like spikes, put those at all the doorways and stuff, and then salt and burn the entire downstairs, make it just a hazard area. Glass shattered, everything. Ground floor fucked up. No one can enter without injuring themselves severely, and then live in the upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, have we discussed why is this happening? Are we
That's the
assuming that
thing,
people have gone feral and they're like now desperately trying to get toilet paper
You've
from
got
us?
the last-
And they're like,
you've got the
you've got
last
toilet
toilet roll."
paper left.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
They've seen it through the window, and they're like, fuck me. There's toilet roll in there. Let's get a gang
That
together
looks tasty. Yeah.
and weapons, and let's get in there. So they're feral. I don't understand
Okay.
this whole
Um,
toilet paper thing at all. Like, I've never used it. I'm
as the
an
first
advocate
thing to
against
be
wiping.
rushed on, yeah, that is weird.
I don't use it.
for the first like.
So,
2
sorry, I
weeks
missed the
of
part where you
panic
said don't
buying-
use toilet roll.
Oh shit! For the first 2 weeks of panic buying, I just survived on like the 1.5 rolls I had knocking around my ensuite. Like, I was just like, I'm not even going to go to a supermarket. There's no point. There's no toilet roll.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I found, I don't know about you, but I have toilet rolls dotted around the place, and I just find them and be like, oh, here's one. Like,
Yeah.
What, like just one on the
Oh, it's a
sofa,
pen holder.
below next
Oh, no,
to
wait,
the
it's a toilet roll.
bedside
There it is.
table.
yeah,
Yeah.
various wank stations basically. Like,
Just you've got
yeah.
wank stations
dotted around the house.
Okay, you've got bomb
Yeah,
stations, wank stations. Okay,
yeah.
starting to paint a picture.
So, like, yeah, well, it looks like somebody's TP'd my flat, but I've done
Right.
it, you know?
Yeah.
That's where it all is. And you panic bought that just before the pandemic because you ran out of your wank stations. Not because of the pandemic, it's just you ran out.
Well, I've been taking. Also, I haven't been to any big supermarkets because my theory is I'll go to the like the ones in the middle of town. Like there's a big Tesco, not a big Tesco, not a supermarket Tesco, but a very large sort of metropolitan middle of the city Tesco that
Tesco
I
Metro.
went to yesterday.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's called that.
And I have, you know, that big black bag, that Patagonia bag I've got that I've taken on a couple of our trips now. It's called a Patagonia Black Hole, and I've been very much relying on that bag. So I went to like Marks and Spencer's last week. I went to Tesco this week, and I've gone in there, and it's like a luggage bag, really. So I
Like a
unzip
duffel
the
bag
thing. Yeah, and I've got it on my back with just all this food. And then like last week I even took my scooter into town. So I was like had about 40 kilos of food on my back on this scooter, which I'm already too heavy for, just like trying to get back home. Like
chugging down.
Come on, little donkey.
When I pictured a pandemic apocalypse, I did not picture Smith with a Patagonia bag on an electric scooter with
Just trying to get
food
home.
on his back.
That's
Just trying to get home.
He's not sponsored, by the way, just so you know.
No, I'd love to
It's
be,
not.
please.
He's got it on the hat and everything.
I don't think anyone's watching. I doubt anyone from Patagonia is watching right now. They're probably all up a mountain somewhere hiding from the
they're
pandemic.
securing their own wank stations right now.
Yeah, which is smart. Like,
Yeah.
can't blame them.
Well, the thing is, like, everyone was mocking the people panic buying because obviously, it's reckless and selfish, etc. But to be honest, they've got in there early. They fucking sorted themselves out. Like now that it's like more of a lockdown, it's Sorry, I'm being input from my girlfriend on the right here.
They caused it.
They caused it. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they are reckless in that way. But sorry, I lost my train of thought.
It's a necessary reaction to when you hear the word pandemic. I think we weren't calmed.
Well,
I think people are just going to react in that way anyway. It's unavoidable. However, the trade chain and it's pretty fucking solid. I don't think there's going to be a loss of groceries and stuff being stocked. Those workers are working diligently to stock the supermarkets anyway. That's going to keep going. It's just right now people are buying everything, but you just have to wait for it to restock and maybe just buy what you need. Maybe after this initial panic buy, people are just going for top-ups from here on.
What about just getting used to buying the things that nobody else buys? So like we could create a list of products that nobody's interested in. So like I've been smashing it on the gluten-free aisle, like wow, what's this bread? Tastes like sand, but nobody's bought it,
They said the world food aisles have been pretty much fully stocked. People haven't been
terrified the pandemic
taking
came from
advantage
those
of world
foods. It's stupid.
But
Corona
realistically,
beer.
a supermarket could be a breeding ground for a virus easily. Like everyone's picking up something. Oh, do I want that? No. Okay, put that down again. Everyone's touching things, and it's like,
that's the thing. The stockists. I don't know what the specific Tesco rules are for staff. Are they wearing gloves? Are they replacing those gloves? Are they just coughing on everything? I don't know. I don't see them wearing
all
masks.
of the fruit produce? Probably.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Well, have you seen that people are coughing on things as a threat now? They've had to make it an illegal act to threaten someone.
Someone
assault,
got
isn't
arrested
it?
for
It's being classed
licking
as
on
assault.
stuff as
Yeah,
well,
it should be.
didn't he?
Yeah.
True.
But they threw away 35k's worth of fresh fruit and vegetables stuff because some woman went in there and started coughing on it all maliciously. Can you believe
you're
that?
gonna get assholes. You're gonna get assholes in
It's just
any
ridiculous,
scenario like
isn't
this.
it?
It's unavoidable. We're just gonna get idiocy. But
When was the
going
first
back-
time you kind of? Oh, go on, Charles.
Well, so when I first coughed on stuff.
No, I mean, as in when were you first aware of like how serious it was going to be? Because I was a bit paranoid early January about this happening, and I was
When
like telling
I
my friends
heard-
about it, and they were like, "Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Don't. It's not going to get here. Of course not." I was like, "Well, it could get here quite easily."
Me and Ross were those guys, definitely.
Yeah.
Being early and being like, we should treat this fucking seriously. And I was already making self-isolation goals and avoiding certain things if I could. As soon as I knew that Wuhan had a pandemic and that it was going to, I knew that tourism was happening and that people are going to be flying and shit. I was that guy that unfortunately, was a little too on it.
But
was that
but the thing
asshole.
is like, but is that a bad thing now? It's come to this level.
We bailed out on Iceland because of it. That was,
but that was the week everything was going down.
That was like the week build up to like everything going, oh shit.
Yeah.
It was like Italy was
is
starting to,
fucked.
yeah. So we kind of played it safe.
I think that like it's always a balance, isn't it? It's always a balance between like you guys probably didn't get this paranoid about the SARS pandemic, or even I mean Ebola has a much lower transmission rate as far as I'm aware. So well, obviously you wouldn't get as worried about that. But like I think it's kind of a perfect storm, isn't it? We're more connected now. We as adults, individuals, are more paying attention to this sort of thing than we were back. SARS was probably when we were in like secondary school, maybe college.
I'm interested by the psychological and upheaval that this is going to cause in a positive way. So let's put a positive spin on this because people are probably fucking sick to death of hearing about coronavirus. So I read an interesting article from a load of psychologists. I assume they're qualified. It's an Atlantic article, so The Atlantic. And they talks about how normalities are being formed already, like with the COVIDious thing and the social like damning of people being outside. That's a negative stigma that's been caused, and like social distancing is going to cause a psychological impact on people going forward because we don't really know when this pandemic ends. There's no cut-off point. It's like, pandemic's over, by the way, no one's got it anymore. There's always going to be that slight fear.
There's no timeline. Yeah.
Like no one wants to handshake anymore or even be near anybody or maintain eye contact or even look at someone for fear of them coughing at you or whatever. That's going to be drilled into us over the next year. And there still could be a risk. When you shake someone's hand, you could get the virus. So that's going to be like in our normality to not be as socially close to people afterwards. And there's always going to be that slight fear. We're going to be fucking great at washing our hands, though, for the first time ever. The NHS has tried for
crusty hands
long ass time for us to actually wash our hands properly rather than just like a quick splash and I'm out again. No, now we know how to fucking wash our hands and the reasons for it. So there's one plus. The other plus is an appreciation and understanding for our health system. Because we're all going to know someone that's going to have to use it through this pandemic. And we're going to be very fucking thankful that it's actually there. So maybe the government's going to put more investment in it for future problems so this never happens again. I'm hoping for that. And
it's a good point you made about the NHS. It's a good point about the NHS because obviously last night they did this. I don't know if you guys took part or even were aware of the clapping at 8 p.m. thing for the NHS.
I was oblivious.
Because it wasn't really on social media as much as it was on the news, right? So I saw them on the Channel 4 News, and they were just like, at 8 p.m. we're doing this. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I looked out the window, and bam, there were fireworks going off. Everyone was clapping and stuff. It's pretty impressive. But at the same time, it does feel kind of empty because, the NHS they're all, risking their lives right now, and we're just clapping on our fucking balconies. It just feels a bit. I want to do more. Do you know what I mean? I wish I could do more. And I think the government
go up
should
there and hug
I think
them.
This should be more of a
go and hug.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, maybe not the hugging. I
think,
but I don't know. It just felt like quite. It's a good gesture, but it just felt like fuck. I just want to do more, basically. And I feel like the government.
Well, you can volunteer
should
for the
definitely
NHS.
do more. Yeah,
you can volunteer for the NHS if you want to.
Yeah,
because they're doing deliveries and stuff, aren't they? And stuff, right?
You can probably. There's probably some donation drives as well for the NHS if you've got excess money. Maybe instead of
Twitch are doing something as well, aren't they?
Twitch are doing something.
So
there's that.
So here's a slightly different take on. I thought the same thing, Ross, when I heard about that. I was like, I love being a cynic, and I'm like, great, that person. I mean, I'm sure it helped, NHS workers and all the people, not just NHS workers, all the people who are out there doing their jobs during this, but equally, it doesn't stop them from, getting ill or whatever. But then on the flip side,
it's a good gesture.
So you know that so morale is really important, and the hacker, which is what the New Zealand rugby teams do. At the start of a rugby game, when they do the whole
when they get the laptops out and then they infect them with a Trojan.
So
hacking.
They had a look at their blood work after they do that thing. And it actually causes them to produce what's the love hormone, the hugging hormone called? There's a hormone that's
Is it a form
released.
of endorphin or is it something else?
It's a kind of oxytocin is the name of it. So oxytocin gets released, and it causes. So oxytocin has an effect on people, on a human being, that causes them to be more unified or more a feeling of greater unity, and so it gets produced. It gets produced like by a new mother and their baby, for example. Like it plays a role in social bonding, essentially. So anyway, so it improved their performance. So the theory is the reason they do it, and the reason that it makes them it produces this hormone, it makes them play better because they're more unified, they're more socially cohesive. So with this clapping and with like morale in general, and like being like, hey, you guys are doing great. The idea might be that it might help them perform better. It might help them go that little bit further. I presume. I mean, like that. That's
like the home team being cheered on. But that's essentially what we're doing, right?
Yeah,
but
so there's,
I guess it depends on where you are.
Empty, but yeah.
But saying that, in the middle of London, I
that
saw the video from London, and it was genuinely impressive. Like hearing all of that happen around you would be amazing. Obviously, where I am, it wasn't as loud or as emphasized. But yeah, I can imagine being in the middle of that would have been like, fuck, this is really cool. Like that's a really cool thing to do. But the thing is, this is kind of like early days yet, so I imagine we'll probably have similar moments down the line. When, shit hits the fan.
Well, there's the alternative. If this doesn't work and we don't see a noticeable improvement in data, there's always the Gordon Ramsay approach of being really fucking harsh to the NHS until they do better.
Right, yeah.
You're an idiot
Put
sandwich!
a couple of slices of bread either side of the NHS.
I mean, if that works... No, I'm not... Of course we wouldn't do that, but...
Don't make him. Don't make Chris Trott
Don't
come
make me
to
do it.
very
I'll fucking do it. And
with 2 slices of bread.
it makes the work pretty fucking hard.
Yeah.
Whether the results are worth it, I don't know. Maybe it works for food because you make it in a short space of time and you don't have to do it for the next year and put your life on the line doing it. So,
your life's not in much danger at all, really. Yeah,
No.
you might burn yourself, sure, but
maybe it feels like it is under Gordon Ramsay, but either way,
yeah, true.
we get our motivation in different ways. It won't work for everybody. Yeah. But yeah, I'm interested to see the psychological impact of a pandemic in our generation to kind of, it's almost like a wake-up call, isn't it? And like, no, let's treat some of these things seriously. And the stuff that you've had your entire life that you've depended on, you've taken it for granted until now, until it's been under stress and it needed more funding and shit. And the fact that there's people out there still working because they know that they have to supply food to people. They still have to do their job at the retail places because people are going to go hungry if you don't. And then there's more appreciation for them as well.
Who knew?
And teachers, I mean, they still have to do their job. They're probably having to resort to Skype and internet and online courses and stuff like that. And I don't know how schools are working. Does anyone know what's happening?
I think that is
it's really sucky actually. So I know somebody who's a teacher, and basically they are essentially a daycare for kids of essential workers. So basically they are having to go in still and look after the kids that are like the kids of doctors and garbage men and like all the other essential services. But the problem is, like, they have a kid that might be like 5 years old at like reception age, like preschool, and they might also have like an 11-year-old, and they somehow have to like make it work, like a lesson. Like they're not even really doing lessons anymore, they're just sort of looking after them, and I imagine that's pretty fucking stressful. Like
and because they cancelled GCSEs and stuff as well, so they're kind of judging based on other work throughout the year.
So this whole sort of academic year of students is simply just going to be judged on their previous work, where if you'd fucked up this year and you were hoping to make it big in your exams at the end of the year. Or I mean, also teachers might be like, "Fuck it, I'm going to cut my break. I'm gonna get all these kids decent grades so they can get." but that means that you're going to have this problem of a bunch of suddenly more qualified individuals for that year. Like,
but
so who knows?
I guess they've got to find an average in there that works for each person. But yeah, holy shit! Like, it's so much has changed in that sense as well. Just the fact that they've, stopped all sporting events, all things that kind of everyone's used to, is just shocking. It's crazy, seeing all these things stop to a halt, all the airports closed, and all that other stuff. It's just,
and how crucial it is.
It's something you don't expect to see in your lifetime.
24/7, everything just kept running, and to have one day off, even just a week off, is hugely damaging to anything. So it's kind of interesting.
At least the environment and is getting better. Greenhouse gases are down. Nitrogen dioxide emissions are down. I mean, it's a breather for the planet. Hopefully, that would be nice. That would be a good thing to get out of it.
And again, it kind of maybe open people's eyes to the effect we're having on the environment in the inverse way.
Saying whether things are man-made impacts.
Saying that the global temperature, if that fluctuates or changes based on this pandemic, look at the data of it, and no one can dispute that, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, it's quite localized right now, isn't it? Certain areas, like when parts of China shut down, there were graphs of how the gases and stuff were minimized so much more once everyone was shut inside and factories were closed and stuff. So you can see a real-time impact there. Whether it affects something on a wider scale, such as global temperature, I'm not sure. It would for a while, but you're certainly seeing differences now, and it's bizarre. This whole situation is so weird.
I just wish pangolin wasn't so tasty,
Yeah.
Like,
so
I got one in the fridge right now. Pangolin sandwich ready to go.
Yeah, nice little tasty treat.
So it's like a McRib. Have you ever had one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pangolin.
When they were around. Pangolin. Oh, okay. Man.
Yeah.
No, I'll stick to horse.
It's a bizarre scenario right now. Like, things are weird. Like, I went out for my daily exercise, licking lampposts on the way out with my dog, and the park was just barren, and there's no one around, and I could just lick whatever I want, and I don't think anyone could see what I was doing. So man. It's strange. You've seen they've done
a I don't know how many people have actually got involved with it, but like this TikTok challenge or whatever it is, where Corona challenge, where they're licking fucking toilet seats and handlebars, and it's like, oh, that's fucking rough. Like, even if there wasn't a pandemic on, that's disgusting. Holy shit. A toilet seat. Oh, no thank you. Ooh. But hopefully they all get charged with something. Holy shit. Because it's just so reckless. They don't even realize.
It's somebody said in chat, if the park is empty, I can steal a duck for tea. I mean, that's an upside, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, fuck it. I'm gonna have a swan. I'm going to go for a swan. I reckon I can really get Rangoon. You bastard, you're coming back.
Do you think the Queen has it if Prince Charles does?
What, swan for dinner? Every night?
No, I mean...
There's a reason in the UK swans are all owned by her.
I don't know, I mean...
They're so tasty.
Do you think they hang out much? Old, the Queenie and Charles? I don't know if...
maybe,
in this period of time, probably not.
Maybe it was normal for them to
they put her in a
only see each
bunker
other
somewhere.
Through perspex glass. Maybe that's how they always live their lives. It's like they do the whole hello.
Mate, the Queen is in a bunker somewhere.
Yeah.
With all the swans.
It's gotta be.
Eating like a fucking queen.
Yeah, with...
Well,
she's eating the swans.
Is.
That's the thing. That's what they didn't tell you. She actually eats the swans. She's just very swan hungry.
Potentially. All right. Well, that's COVID. That's what it's doing to us.
That's COVID. Well, the thing is, you say that. I mean, there are a lot of... I tried to find funny news stories. Half of them are all about this, all related to, like, for example, hundreds of rolls of toilet paper spilled along I-85. And it's just a horrible mess of toilet roll. It's like, how much would that cost?
The humanity.
The humanity. All these toilet rolls. Holy shit. There seems to always be, like, a specific spill of something whenever, like, something like this happens or something, like, crazy happens. Oh, look, she's spilt shitloads of... chocolate treats have spilt, all of the eggs have spilt. And then I think it was pigs the other day as well. Like,
fuck's sake.
They need to stop loading these fucking vans with all this shit, man. Small deliveries only.
Yeah, more vehicles.
Anyway, there's free toilet roll on I-85. Go for it.
There you go. Hope it doesn't rain soon.
In other news, I just took a photo of my lizard, and it looks like she's working out how to walk on 2 legs. So,
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
She's evolving in front of your very eyes.
she is. She heard me talking about her,
There's
and
actually-
she knows it's time now to to get running, because she knows I'm going to eat her eggs. She knows they're unfertilized.
start
They're all
training.
it's like a chicken. Lizards are like chickens; they still can lay eggs even if they're unfertilized, and all those eggs will just there'll be nothing apart from
Yeah.
delicious breakfast.
Delicious.
Who wants
breakfast
eggs?
I
Whisking
mean,
them up.
would that so would your lizard run like those lizards on planet Earth where they were running away from those snakes? Do you remember that clip? I don't know if they were like I don't know what type of lizard they were.
Those were
would yours
marine
run in a similar
iguanas.
way where it's like kind of they're iguanas, of course.
Yeah, but like she would make it. Marine iguanas
Bearded
are
dragon
like
versus iguana race.
well, I mean, they were baby marine iguanas though, right?
Yeah, they were small. Yeah.
So like she's kind of quick. She can't outrun me, so she's not that quick.
Of course not.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't fancy her odds. She's pretty chubby as well, so like there's that
Yeah.
as well to consider. No, none of them would outrun her, really. Those snakes are fucking terrifying. That scene was just unbelievable. That was like a scene from hell.
That was really well done. Yeah, holy shit, all that stuff's impressive.
so
It was like you were saying
mad.
about that night, because there was that new one on Netflix, isn't there, about night vision?
Yeah.
Where they utilize like extreme night vision to.
Have you seen any of
track down
that
those
yet?
animals. Yeah, I've seen the first episode. It was really good, and it's
The
like
camera
just-
tech is
Obviously,
nuts,
half of it
isn't
looks
it?
like grayscale, but like it's crystal clear,
Yeah.
and it's pitch black out there.
Yeah.
and that's the
Yeah.
interesting part.
What's it called?
They're getting color like
Um,
at night.
What's the show
is it
called?
just I don't know off the top of my head. At night, is it something like that?
It's a limited
Night on
series as well,
Earth.
so they'll take it off Netflix.
I think it's
too.
Night on Earth. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a very good. It's a fun
So-
watch. It's a very easy watch. It's a very visual like thing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like David Attenborough where you learn it like crazy things, but like it's fun.
I wish David Attenborough was
It's
on
a
it.
trailer.
You know,
Hmm?
just without him being there, just makes you feel like, this isn't quite complete for me.
Mm.
This is all
Fingers crossed he
night
doesn't
shot.
get
isn't it?
COVID. I mean, how old is he?
Oh.
90 something?
Yeah, 92.
Oof. Dear God.
Wow. Holy shit.
But yeah, that was an impressive series, I thought. So far. It's more of those like night shots with the leopards and stuff, where it's just like, I don't know, it's just really good. I recommend it.
There's a hilarious bit with a kind of lizard called a bachelor gecko, I think it's called, and they make
Right.
noises. It's absolutely fucking hilarious. They like make this like noise. It sounds like they're like laughing at each other, but it's like the smallest lizard noise. Like it's hilarious.
I'm going to assume
honestly.
it sounds exactly like that. That would be hilarious.
I mean,
hearing
I'd
that.
say that's a pretty good impression. See if we can find it. Hold on, let me see if I can. I might be able to.
See if you can find it.
Bachelor.
So I found an article, it's not related to that at all. But apparently, Microsoft are working on a filter to filter out the sound of you eating potato chips on a conference call. Which apparently
Really?
is more useful now than ever. Yeah, just in time for us all to be working from home because of the pandemic. Microsoft built new technology for its Teams software that can identify your voice and filter out any other sounds. That could be a leaf blower, a dog barking, or even,
Shitting.
you rustling through a bag of potato chips. So you could just be like just crunching down and just be like, yeah, I'll get on that in the morning. But hopefully that gets
Ugh.
cut out.
Oh,
It probably just
well,
sound really fucking like it's like a harsh gate on it where it just cuts in and out.
I got a crazy suggestion. Instead of developing technology to mask out people's terrible mannerisms, how about people just do better with manners when in calls?
Yeah, just don't eat fucking crisps on a phone call. That makes sense.
That's
It
pretty
does make
sensible,
sense,
right?
but you can't.
what's
can't
your
trust
thoughts
people,
on
Trent.
mango?
You can't
'Cause
trust people.
I've been eating mango.
Mango's
Mango,
alright.
something
It's
juicy.
not- it's
I
not
don't
a bunch
know.
of crisps. If you're silent
Yeah,
with
with
it,
a little juicy morsel. I don't know if that would cut it out. You just hear like, ugh, no, thank you.
I'd find a way to kill you remotely. If you did it.
Yeah,
Like a handgun on a drone.
Yeah.
yeah, that's who you need to
Oh, here
barricade
it comes.
yourself away from. It's Trot just coming in.
A couple of kitchen knives duct taped to a drone
Stop
outside.
eating during the calls.
He's knocking on the door. Ting, ting, ting. Hello? Ow! Fuck you!
Did you find out what those
The
lizards were
walkie-talkie.
called?
Yeah, what is lizards called? Find them.
They're called bachelor geckos, but there's no YouTube clips of it. You'd have to see it on the actual show.
There's no YouTube video of it. Wow.
None.
Dear God.
They've never been seen
here's a-
before.
So there's
Oh.
I was scrolling through not the Onion, of course. That's where we get most of the weird, random, funny news. What's this clip?
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm just seeing a clip come up.
Can you
Is
hear
this-
it or no?
What is
I
it?
can't without jumping up. Let me unmute this. No, I can't hear it.
It's probably no
What's he
sound
doing? He's
there.
got one of those little geckos.
Well, it's just said it's just called Laughing Gecko.
Oh.
I probably need to add a thing to make it work, which I just don't know if I can be bothered to do, you know?
It just doesn't have the. We'll assume it sounds like the sound Smith's about to make now.
It's really
That's perfect.
Wow. Yeah.
It
That's
sounds
a,
the same.
um,
It sounds the
exactly
same.
like it.
There's no point me fixing this audio because that was literally it. Well done.
It's funny. It does sound a bit like Popeye. There's no
Yeah,
two ways about
that
it.
does sound like
Uh,
Popeye. Olive. I haven't seen Popeye in years. So is Olive a character?
I never really used to enjoy it
This-
that much, to be honest with you.
The
It's
skinny
Popeye
girl.
Disney.
It was
In-
always-
in the days when, like, you know, Beetleborgs
yo-yo
and
in
Power
between.
Rangers and X-Men and
Yeah.
stuff was around, you'd still see those sort of reruns on like the BBC and stuff of Popeye, and you're like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
when's Aquila coming on? You know?
When's Aquila coming on? Fuck spinach. I want Aquila. Give me Aquila. Did you see? There was a prank going around saying that they were. Well, I mean, no one would be taking this seriously, surely. But apparently, the FA was forced to confirm they are not using Wembley Stadium to cook the world's biggest lasagna.
Oh,
Because there was a joke going around saying that, like, with all the food shortages, they were trying to make the world's largest lasagna in a sports stadium, and there's just a fucking terrible Photoshop of the stadium, and then just this kind of bubbly cheese at the top of it. For fuck's sake.
yeah.
But yeah, they had to confirm that was not happening.
It's
So
an
if you were looking
admirable
forward to
initiative.
some tasty
though,
lasagna. Yeah, yeah.
It's admirable. Yeah. Feed the
It would have been horse meat anyway
world.
for that size. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you've got to go to horse meat.
Yeah,
You do.
there's a mixture of meats in
Come
there.
on.
Yeah, for that size.
Yeah.
God.
I got a couple lizard
I
eggs
also read
chuck
a
in the
funny-
mix.
Chuck them in. That'll be good. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Nice.
Bit for the pasta, I'm assuming.
My
So
mum
for
used to
last-
make lasagna with chicken livers in it,
Oh,
and she didn't tell me for a while until I noticed she was putting a bag of chicken livers in the lasagna, and I was just like, oh.
They're pretty
I know it's
nutritious,
They
though.
look
hypocritical,
like
but I
just little
really
kidney
don't want to
beans.
eat chicken. Yeah, pretty much. They're pretty
oh,
fucking.
hell.
It's incredibly hypocritical of me, but I was like, I don't really want to eat
Yeah.
chicken livers.
Yeah. Was it a good?
There you go.
Did you try the lasagna before you knew?
Yeah, it was really fucking nice, to be fair.
Wow. Then enjoy those chicken livers. They're the type of things that most people probably wouldn't really put in food. So if anything, you're helping the food
Yeah.
wastage crisis.
Yeah, probably.
Eat a liver, guys. Everyone at home now needs to buy a small bag of chicken livers and just devour them one by one like mini eggs. Just pop
They're
them in your mouth
literally
and
they're
crunch
about
them.
the same size as like a big kidney bean. That's what they look like.
Yeah. I've seen them. I've seen
We'll
them
eat
frozen on
pangolins,
it.
won't
It's like,
eat
what the
liver.
fuck? Who's buying these? Oh man.
For sakes.
Have you guys been worried about the Amish at all during this time? Like, do they know
Why?
what's going on, or
For
because they're
fuck's
quite cut
sakes.
off, aren't they?
You've
I say
always
that 'cause
got
I
to
saw
think
this
about
article. You've got to think about the Amish. I mean, I saw this article saying leader in Amish beard cutting attacks finishing sentence at home due to COVID-19 risk. So he's obviously aware of it, but he was cutting people's beards in an attack. So
The fuck?
What?
he was sentenced to prison for beard and hair cutting attacks, which will get to serve the rest of his sentence at home, apparently on house arrest. Let me try and find where he is. So the attacks were in 2011, where he was trying to shame fellow Amish who had defied or denounced the authoritarian style of the leader of the Bergholz community in eastern Ohio. So yeah, he essentially just went and started cutting up people's beards, and obviously they grow those really long ass Amish beards.
Jealous.
Yeah, going around shaming
That's
people
what
by
Smith's
cutting them
trying to
off.
achieve.
I think he's doing them a favour personally, but Each to their own.
That's crazy.
Let's go and cut
Unbelievable.
Smith's beard off. Beard
Fuck it,
attack.
this is why I've been thinking about barricading, because you're going to be coming in at some point. You're going to get bored. And
With
you're
the
gonna be like, let's
sword?
go cut Smith's beard off. He's not expecting
I've
it.
got a
and I'm now
decorative
losing
sword.
my mind. Come in with a sword. The first thing you
What?
see, you're walking
It's the
down the
woman from Kill
hallway
Bill.
to my apartment. You just see me run out of my apartment with my trousers around my ankles and Dorito hanging out of my arse.
Oh,
He's
cock
going.
beard.
He's running.
He's got a
We got a
tail.
runner.
He was crunching loudly on a Skype call.
I heard it. I heard it through the filter.
The film was no good. Needs work.
What other hilarious news have you got there, Ross?
Let's see. We've got. I mean,
I'm laughing already.
basically really? Okay. I mean, half of the stories I find are never funny. They're just like weird or
It's a
kind
running
of
trend.
harrowing. Apparently, gorillas are stockpiling to get through the coronavirus crisis. Thanks,
Stockpiling
Metro,
what?
for that one. They're stockpiling what looks like lettuce at Bristol Zoo. Are they just literally piling it in a corner and then going, "Oh, they're bloody stockpiling like us. They're just like us."
That's what the toilet paper is.
They've been eating it and shoving it on each other's faces. They don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's all COVID stuff. So it's like it's not that funny, and people are cutting their own hair in hilarious ways because why not? Will you be cutting your hair, Trot, in a hilarious fashion over this period of time?
Just let it grow out.
Let it grow.
Let it grow.
Let it grow, and then we'll shave it off. I mean, some people have said they were going to shave it off in this period of time, and then just let it grow back when they, as they go back to normality. If we go back,
Sorry, we're currently listening to the sound of Smith's lizard
feeding
eating some rocket or arugula if you're from the US.
well, so
Arugula.
we filmed some stuff for our main channel recently. We didn't really know what to do in terms of our main channel, which is basically what we've transformed into an in real life channel, and that's very much hit a very weird stopping block here with this crisis.
Yeah. It's hard
So
to
we
meet up.
filmed little vloggy bits, and there's this like really cool bit where Smith was feeding what was the name of this bearded dragon again?
Dorito.
This one's Dorito.
Dorito, of course, Dorito. So he's got 3 different lizards, and that one was crunching down on these little mealworm things, and it was quite adorable, quite an adorable little creature.
That
So
poor little worm
that'll
getting
be in the
just
vlog. We'll watch
crushed
that.
alive.
That'll
Think
probably be
about
up
the
tonight, in fact.
insect. Insect lives matter.
I'll think about the insect when the insect looks better to me. All right, Trot?
It's all about looks. It's so
We're all
shallow.
thinking it. All right. Weird little creepy things. Eat them all, Dorito. Eat them all.
We had a massive bumblebee in our conservatory today. It is the biggest fucking bee I've ever seen. This is a GMO'd bee.
You sure it wasn't like
I
a mascot?
swear. No, well, it might have been, but
It's a
it
dude
was
in a
so
mascot
big.
outfit.
But yeah, it was massive, and I had to get a
Wait,
cup. and
there's a
everything.
fucking giant bee in my conservatory. It's a man in
bee.
a mascot. What are you going to do
What?
with
Stop
that?
calling.
Get the
can
fuck
you
out of
not
my
call-
house.
Stop calling 111, please. This is not a health emergency.
Please.
There's a bloody bee in my conservatory. What do I do?
It's
I
the
think it's
emergency
Queen.
bee. He's here to warn you about 111. And the fact the dentist just closed. Just got a message about that. Okay.
Look at that little Dorito
Um,
chewing away.
So when I was in Africa, I told you guys this, but I thought this as well, Ross. I was like, fucking up
Wait, what the fuck? You went to
Dorito, and most lizards absolutely love locusts. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, send some lizards over there. They'll chomp them right down.
It's an
But
army
then
of
I actually
lizards,
saw,
yeah.
I saw one of.
Oh, yeah.
They just
I
shouting.
saw one of. I could feel some rumblings in her stomach. I wondered if she was going to show me. I saw one of these locusts, and they are gigantic. They are literally about 8 inches long, and like there is no way in hell that she could eat it. Like, not a chance. But she does.
You can
like
have to
raw-
tell us.
What about an iguana?
Maybe
If we
maybe
send
an iguana. could do
Iguanas
it.
out there.
Let us
What
know.
those land dragon boys called? We'll send those out there as well.
Komodos.
Komodo dragon. They can all fight them, and we watch this epic fight between locusts and lizards, all from the safety of our balconies.
Do you think
I'd watch
Dorito's
that.
aware of when you put rocket on its head? Do you think it just disappears to him?
Yeah,
yeah,
no, she is.
I
aware.
think so.
She
She,
will do
sorry.
stuff. So right now, for example, she loves rocket, but when she's had enough, she'll just close her eye on that side and be like, "No, I don't want it anymore."
Can you not?
Like she's like,
No,
she's doing it now. She's like, "No, I don't want.
Nice.
No, I don't want it anymore. Thank you."
That's a useful
belly.
trait.
What a
Look at
belly.
her belly.
Now
Nice belly.
showing the belly for anyone
This
listening.
is all for the visuals right now. Apologies.
It's all
to-
audio based.
Could you
So
hear her
if you
munching
saw
away?
somebody,
Yeah, we could.
yeah, we could hear her crunching away. Yeah, just a little bit. So Trot, I mean, are you worried that you might be doing too much exercise in one day, or get in trouble if anything for doing two types of
Yeah,
exercise?
you're burning
in
too
one
many
day, out and
calories.
about?
That means you need more food, and therefore you're wasting your resources by exercising too much. That is a fear. Is a fear that
If you
I'm
saw
just
your
gonna
neighbor
have.
go out for 2 runs, do you think you'd call the police?
I'd be on the phone. I'd be ready with it. I'd type in
be
99
ready
and
with
get ready with the third 9
No.
at some point. Why? Why are you asking?
Yeah. Well, it's just that there have been a surge of calls informing the police that their neighbors have been going on for extra runs.
These are the fucking classic
So they've been-
curtain-twitching telltales that now have a voice and now feel like they're justified.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate it.
Uh,
I hate it.
Right, I'm calling the Bobby. He's definitely had a run earlier on this morning. I saw it. I saw it from my window.
Bloody snitch.
Cuff him. Throw the
They're the
bucket
kind
in.
of people that they're the kind of people that would comply with the Gestapo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
The thing is,
sure,
now
it
they're
makes sense to stay
self-isolated.
inside, but fucking hell.
They have more power than ever now that they're inside, and their duty is to make sure no one else is going outside. They feel that they've got this sudden power that they have
Yeah.
over others. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like it makes sense if it's groups of people. If it was a solitary person just going up their road and then back again just to run, how much harm is that doing, do you think? Or is it just about the message?
That is no harm. That's zero harm. Coming into contact.
So then if
with
everyone did
others-
it, that's when it's the issue. If everyone in the
but-
street then goes, right, let's go for a 2 p.m. run. Okay, so should we all form a group? Well, that seems reckless, but yes.
two
Like what?
meter
A running
distance. Don't sweat on me.
No, I keep 2 meters probably. Anyway, I'm running. Headphones in. Fuck it.
Do you think the space would need to be increased with the velocity of sweat being thrown from a running body versus a walking
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, I think so.
You know, when the
a little
chevrons
bit.
on a road
Yeah.
kind of increase the distance of cars to limit their speed. Similar thing.
This
Because
is
I
why
know
we need,
when the windscreen wipers go
mobile-
off on a car, I
Yeah.
know the car behind is going to get hit by that. Same
yeah,
with sweat,
Yeah,
So
true.
virus-ridden sweat, pandemic, a jogger running behind another jogger, their sweat's going to fall onto them. They're
Yeah.
infected.
This is
Trot,
where
have you
Google
had
Glass
an
could have
update on
been
when you're getting your
functional.
car?
Oh, yeah.
End
Trot
of
ordered
April.
a car.
I've ordered a
Right.
car that's been made in China, and
Mm-hmm.
the factory shut down, unsurprisingly, and apparently it's reopened now, and it's going to be on its way to me end of April. Apparently there's going to be little delay in that. I don't believe
Wow.
it. It's not a Tesla. It's a Volvo. Safest car on the road.
Hmm.
And I'm paying monthly for it.
kind
If
of,
you need to know, I don't.
Got a similar shape to like a Land Rover, isn't it?
It's
Looks nice.
Yeah, it
well,
looks
it's
a
an
bit like a
SUV.
Range Rover.
It's got a
Yeah.
Range look. Yeah, Range Rover. That's it.
It's the XC40 if you care about Volvos. A nice black XC40 Volvo. Nice, solid,
Nice.
safe, reliable car. Looks good. Looking forward to getting that one riddled with viruses.
So strange. It's such a sensible car after putting a deposit for a very not well the opposite from that with the Tesla
Cybertruck, yeah. Yeah,
Cybertruck, fucking 7 meter long
But
beast.
It hyped me up.
Yeah.
And they got me with the marketing, and £100 refundable deposit is fine.
And let's be honest, you had your fun in the Tesla we made anyway. Let's be honest. That
I
was
feel
electric.
like I've had my Cybertruck fill being in our little miniature
Yeah.
version of it. So out and about, everyone saw me. Everyone was commenting on how great the Cybertruck was. So I've had my fill of the novelty. And now I just need something reliable. And it's a hybrid, so I'll be pootling around on electric as and when I can. And being very economic, hopefully. That's the aim.
Well, that's good. That's the important part. I'll probably buy a gas guzzler, mate, just to make up for your lack
good.
of gas guzzling.
Excellent.
So where you're saving it, I'm taking that savings and putting it into like some sort of sports vehicle potentially.
I'm just gonna punch a hole in his fuel tank.
Oh,
Well,
well, that's even
that'll
better.
be fine.
He won't
I
have
can
any
run on-
fuel. He
I
has to
can
use
run
the
on
battery.
electric. Yeah.
Now, be a real slow bleeder.
Yeah. Pinhole.
I did a test drive in it, and it's pretty good. I mean, on hills and stuff, it immediately kicks into the petrol engine, so I won't be able to do
Yeah.
any hills on electric. So who knows? I'll probably be going at 10 miles an hour. No, electric only. I'm a purist.
Mm.
But we'll see.
We can drive
Maybe
to
I
the
won't even
warehouse
get it. Yeah,
if we ever get there.
yeah.
get
We
to
got
that
parking
stage.
space. Yeah, I look forward to seeing that, boy. You glad we paid for that just during a pandemic?
Yeah, that's kind of like a very bittersweet because obviously it took 3 months to organise, and then just as we signed the papers, actually, can you just stay indoors and never see it yet? Okay.
Yeah, you know all that
cool.
money you spent on a
Cheers, man.
warehouse, can't use it. Sorry. Stay at home.
Yeah.
Shit. God damn.
Yeah.
Oh well. It'll be worth it when we finally get around to using the warehouse for our YouTube channel.
Either that, or we could stock it full of necessities and camp in there.
Yeah, I say
Solid.
we,
Yeah,
Like-
I mean, strictly speaking, we could use it. It's just not responsible. Is the reason we haven't done
Yeah.
anything yet. I think
That's
audience.
Yeah, pretty much.
gotta set a
Um,
precedent. If we start releasing videos on our main channel about us all meeting up in groups of 3 in our new warehouse and
Yeah.
traveling there every day, I don't think people will be too happy with us, to be honest. So
And also, yeah, like I mean, people
Especially all the
filming
kissing you'll be
themselves
doing there.
licking. Well,
So much
exactly.
kissing.
All the kissing, handle licking, and the saliva will be everywhere. Let's be honest.
yeah,
But yeah,
if it's in the
filming
warehouse-
stupid acts in times like this just doesn't make too much sense. Although
No.
tonight's vlog, there is shots of me going to the office. But that was a few days ago. That was literally
Yeah.
just after they said
before the huge
Get your shit.
lockdown.
you're staying inside. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the last little bit of content there, but you can
Yeah.
go out for exercise once a day. You can still make most of that. So
Yeah.
there is that. Well, we've pretty much reached our hour limit there on
Yeah.
Hat Chat. So if there's any final words that you want to send as a message of hope, let's start with Ross.
I think ultimately, I mean, one thing you want to do is avoid the news and stuff if it's overbearing, because I think that's the one thing that this 24-hour news cycle stresses people out in the first place, let alone when something like this is happening. So just turn it off. Maybe crack on that series you didn't watch before because you didn't have time. Get into the hobby that you wanted to get into but also didn't have time for, and just try and make use of this free time at home. Essentially, if you are at home. I just feel bad for anyone who has to still work in certain scenarios.
Thank you, Ross.
Basically,
Smith.
that's my words.
My final words would be, and if y'all try come in my place and get my lizard eggs, I'm gonna stop you.
Nice.
You can use my
Well-
decorative sword if you want.
Please hand me your decorative sword. Can you give me a slight trim before?
Yeah,
if I just
there will
hold
be a
the beard
ceremony.
out, and you swing really quick and fast.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, we'll keep your thumb there. That'd be nice.
Perfect. Well, some solid advice all round. Don't look at the news so often and stay out of Alex Smith's home, or he will.
And
Yeah.
wash your
Yes.
hands.
Those
well,
are
keep
my
washing your
lizard
hands.
eggs.
Keep washing your
Well,
hands.
that Doritos, no.
You should have seen the amount of surgical care I took receiving a Domino's pizza last night. I decided, like, fuck it, I'm having a delivery. And
2 nights ago, I did the same.
yeah, I had a couple of Dettol
Yeah.
wipes holding the boxes. I told them to leave it outside. They did that, thankfully. They also had an extra box underneath that I think they held to keep the other
Oh.
pizzas on, which was nice of them. I
Mine
still
just chucked it on the ground and
'cause I
said,
didn't know.
"Fuck off, mate."
Yeah, but I had like,
I said, "Oh, thanks for being safe."
Cheers, dude.
I'll piss off. Yeah, I had Dettol wipes wiping down cardboard boxes. It's so stupid. But
Well, you
I'm
say that
safe
no,
now.
like they're recommending you do that from supermarkets as well
yeah,
because it lives on
Because-
surfaces for 24 hours. Certain surfaces.
yeah.
So,
So-
it's not. Although it looks stupid, and yeah, it would be funny to see you wiping down Domino's boxes with the Dettol wipe. Yeah, you still have to kind of be sensible with the stuff because ultimately that is something from the outside world coming back in. So
And
Yeah.
that's the kind of interesting thing that I think is becoming normalized, and we have to get past that stigma of laughing at
Yeah.
doing stupid things like that because we have to now. And how much is that going to
Yeah.
linger past a pandemic? That's what I'm finding interesting. Is like are you still going to be worried about shaking someone's hand in the future? You're going to have like, oh,
Yeah.
oh, you went through COVID as well. I understand.
Well, yeah, it's funny you say it because obviously, yeah, there's a stigma of being like kind of a bit too, a bit of a stick in the mud about these things and being like, well, I'm not gonna, sorry, I can't go to your party because of these reasons. I had to cancel a couple of things like that just because I was like, well, look, there's a virus going around. I don't know why you're having a party, but I can't make it. Sorry.
Now in
And you have to
hindsight,
be
I'm
that
sure
guy.
if you brought that up again and said, "Do you remember when I said that?" They'd all be like, "You know
Yeah.
what? You were right." So
There's a difference
Yeah.
though between stopping the spread of illnesses that you may have, and over sterilizing yourself so you have like no immunities, no
Of course,
microbial
yeah.
cultures in your body. Like you've got to bear in mind that like there's evidence that suggests that kids that grow up playing outside and in the mud have less allergies, have less illnesses, because
Yeah.
they have microbial cultures in their body that build resistances to the regular things you see. So
what
I
you're
would
saying
say
is
take it with a pinch of salt.
let
Like,
Well,
all
yeah,
the
but
as you
kids
said,
out.
when you're aware of viruses going around, that's the only thing.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
about.
I'm not
I know what you mean
saying-
in terms of
yeah.
I know
Yeah,
what you mean.
like absolutely don't spread illnesses. Like I hate it when people come into work when they've got a cold. It's like just stay fucking home. Like we don't need to do that. Absolutely, I completely agree with that. I'm just saying that like over sterilizing things and stuff like that can have a negative impact
Totally.
long term.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
like
I'm
Trot was saying,
wondering-
I feel like that's the type
Yeah.
of thing that would last a bit longer now.
that might linger.
after
People
this.
might be a bit more hypochondriac about the whole thing.
Perhaps, yeah.
yeah.
So it might cause more problems. But at the same time, there's also that other benefit which you just mentioned about, staying at home when you're ill. That might actually fucking set in for once. And
Yeah.
realize the consequences of not doing so. And workforces that have been so fucking hard on people working at home, suddenly
Yeah.
they've had to find a way to make it work, and now there's no excuse not to. So
Yeah.
that's going to be interesting.
But yeah, also
Anyway.
it's also a flip side of that is to respect the fact that some people are living paycheck to paycheck, and it's just like so much harder
Yeah.
for them to just be like, oh,
Like
I'll
the
just take a day off.
electrician
It's
at
like,
my place. I had an electrician over, and then he couldn't finish the job because there was some extra bits to do. And then I was
Yeah.
like, you know what, I'm going to pay you now because you're going to be out of pocket for the next 3 months, and you can just
Yeah.
come finish that job at the end. And he really appreciated that because it was like, this is literally what's keeping me going.
Yeah.
I can't
Nice,
do
yeah.
electrician at home work. So yeah, there's a lot
Yeah.
of like self-employed people right now that are going to.
Well, that's very responsible of you, Chris Trott.
Then I punched him.
thank you, Chris Trott.
Ah,
You punched him.
I frisbeed a pizza at him.
Yeah.
I coughed in his face and punched him, and kicked him out the door and told him to fuck off. Threw cash in his face. The whole thing. The neighbors are watching.
Well,
Trott,
we had this,
also, go on. We need that electrician to do our warehouse.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
He's a good guy. His name's Chris, so I fucking good solid.
There you go.
trust
Shout out on the
bond.
podcast.
Yeah.
Chris from Bristol. Well, an electrician. There you go.
Electrician, call Chris.
Nice.
Yeah, he's good. I'll get him in touch. Don't touch. Actually, no touching. Sorry. We're
guess
gonna
the
have to
last
change
thing-
that wording.
Yeah. Last thing I want to do is probably thank everyone supporting us on Patreon right now. Obviously, this isn't a priority for anyone, I think, in terms of supporting things. So if you need the money, don't subscribe for any reason. But for whoever has, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. But yeah, you will all be credited at the end of the YouTube video, which is going out on our Hat Chat YouTube channel. If you want to see all the visuals, like Smith's Dorito lizard eating some rocket, then please go check it out on the channel and see our strange faces in this self-isolation state. I think it went okay.
Yeah.
Obviously,
It's
there's delay
okay,
and
yeah,
some
it's
crackly. We'll
bit
fix
choppy.
it for next time, but I think that might be an audio issue on my end, so I'll have a look at that. But thanks for listening and watching, everybody. We appreciate
Indeed.
it. Hope you're all staying safe, stay at home, and stay strong. Be strong for mother.
Yes. Stay strong for mother.
Clarence. Stay strong.
Did we mention the finger was by Jack Midworth? Thank you for that. It's a really good one. And I guess
Really
we'll
good
be
one. You get the
signing off
whole
with that.
track in a second. It's a whole, like, not feature length, but whole song length, radio
Yeah.
length. So please enjoy that, Jack Midworth. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. And please check out our channel if you're bored. Our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Hat
We'll be
Films.
streaming games Monday. There's also a video going out tonight,
Tonight,
which
yeah.
is that'll be like our self-isolation video where we each show what we're up to. More lizards in that if you want to see more lizards. And Chris Trott is in it as well.
Our Hack Gaming channel has loads of content on as well if you're bored. So thank you for listening, and we'll see y'all on the flip side. Ta-ra.
Bye-bye.
you